guess it's safe to say we can sound the alarm, ladies and gentlemen, because guess what's back? Guess what's back yet again in the Bay Area, and that being 49ers football. Yes, that is back in the Bay Area, and it's not the good kind, ladies and gentlemen. Mainly it has to be on defense, though, because, well, the offense, yes, they have their struggles, but oh boy, our defense has been hot trash the last 2 weeks, and I guess it certainly has carried over into this third game, into week 8 against the Cincinnati Bengals, and oh boy. Well, let's not dilly-dally around this topic. Let's just talk about it, because there's definitely some things to talk about. This 49ers football of the atrocity that is this defense. Because, well, you kick things off. We get the 49ers offense first. And, well, one of the main things that I wanted Kyle Shanahan to not do was keep running that Christian McCaffrey, well, high and dry. And, well, despite a solid run to start things, well, there was nothing open for the Christian McCaffrey well. The 49ers had the punt early. And the 49ers offensive line, well, yeah, they didn't help either, but still, you got to vary it up. Like, the teams are going to eventually catch on that, oh, Kyle Shanahan's just going to use Christian McCaffrey all the damn time and, not trust your other running backs. That's pretty much the whole formula here. And then, once again, on defense, going back to my original point of the sounding the alarm, the Niners defense, once again, nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found in Cleveland. Nowhere to be found in Minnesota. Nowhere to be found here. And it took to the very beginning of the game to find that out. Because on Cincinnati's opening drive, they had a chance to get Joe Burrow's offense off the field early on, but for whatever reason, they could not take him down. They could not take him down on third down. And yes, that included multiple defensive linemen. Nick Bosa, Hargrave, Armstead. I think the entirety of the 49ers pass rush tried to sack him on third down, and Joe Burrow managed to escape out of it. Is he like that slimy, that elusive, that the 49ers defense couldn't get to him? Like, damn, he managed to convert that first down. And then what was even worse on that opening drive for Cincinnati is that the 49ers defense already allowed 30-plus yards to Jamar Chase already. It's like, what are you guys doing? Are you guys asleep? Are you guys already asleep at the wheel? So anyway, the Cincinnati Bengals offense, they're already in the red zone with like a little over 4 or 5 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Not 4 to 5 minutes starting in this game. And Tyler Boyd gets this 11-yard touchdown pass from Joe Burrow, and it's already 7-0. It's already 7-0. And interestingly enough, that they kept mentioning that, Cincinnati doesn't score touchdowns on their opening drives this year. And guess what happened? The 49ers allowed another first. They allowed Cincinnati to score on their opening possession, their first one of the year. We love to give first to their the opposition. Like, why can't we get a first, huh? Why can't we get a first on defense? But anyway, at least for the 49ers offense, Brock Purdy played like he's been doing all season so far. As if the concussion was like, a thing of the past, pal. He had a nice drive downfield with some big gain plays to Ayuk and Kittle. And Christian McCaffrey got the tying run, the tying score, and also the tying rushing record that they keep talking about for like consecutive games with a touchdown for a running back, whatever. So the Niners tied that game 7-all. But the problem is, on that Sunday, there's still no help. Still no help on the defensive end because the Niners defense kept getting their asses stepped on by Joe Burrow in that offense. And even worse is that, one of the worst running games in the NFL that has been struggling, they got trounced on. The Niners defense got trounced on. They let Joe Burrow, Joe Burrow was in that first half the leading rusher for the Bengals. And then Joe Mixon slowly but surely made his way into the game. So, but it's again, early in that first quarter, that Niners running defense was getting stepped on like ants. And then the secondary was letting random no-names get recognized by Jim Nantz. Yes, Jim Nantz, the commentator. And then even worse is that you end the first quarter on a very down note. You not only get penalized for offsides and holding in the red zone, but then you also allow another Joe Burrow touchdown pass to some random guy that I can't even pronounce the name at the end of the first quarter. So that's pretty embarrassing. You go down 14-7 at the end of the first. So pretty much Steve Wilkes is back on his bullshit. But at the same time, everyone else on the field, they're not free of blame either, because they're pretty much seeing ghosts. Like the pass rush is seeing ghosts, secondary seeing ghosts, everyone on the defense is seeing ghosts. So anyway, at least going to the second quarter, the defense does finally do something. That being Eric Armstead sacking Joe Burrow and like near past midfield, and then Eric McPherson misses a field goal. Okay, still a 7-point game. Still 14-7, a little bit under 10 minutes. And then the offense, they try to respond, but they come up a little bit short, although they kind of missed the face mask call. I don't know why, but they settle for 3. Okay, it's 14-10. It's only a 4-point game now. But once again, as it has been for a good chunk of this game already, it feels like Groundhog Day. It really feels like Groundhog Day. Or if you want to compare football to wrestling in terms of sense, make 2 1 and 1 together. The 49ers defense kind of equates to the Judgment Lame on Raw. They both suck. They both are terrible right now. So the Judgment Lame defense, that is the 49ers, was getting torched by even the simplest shit from Joe Burrow and the Bengals offense. Whether it was checkdowns, screen passes, the running game. Like, where was the defense? Where was Nick Bosa? The guy that got paid a shit ton of money. Where was Javon Hargrave in the interior? I mean, the only one in the interior that kind of showed up today was Eric Armstead. And let's be honest, Eric Armstead has been, 20-80 since he signed that big fat contract. And more importantly, since your pass rush was not doing well, your secondary has been going ghost like Danny Phantom. But the defense, once again, this game has been mainly about getting big breaks near the red zone. As Isaiah Oliver, the corner, he punched out and recovered his own fumble from Irv Smith Jr. that he caused, and near the goal line, and it gave the Niners a chance. They gave a chance to score before the half, but unfortunately, they couldn't. So you go into halftime. Okay, it's still a 7-point, not a 7-point game, a 4-point game, 14-10. Okay, you can at least, if you make some adjustments for once on defense, you can give yourself a chance to try and snap the skid, because you're 5-2. You're really struggling on defense, and they're starting to show some cracks on offense. Like, you can't be like this, man. You really can't be like this. But unfortunately, it seems like, once again, as has been the last 2 weeks, nothing on no adjustments on defense, because they continue to show no resistance to start the second half. And Joe Burrow, credit to him, he showed how healthy he was, how much that bye week benefited him with a big 20-yard scramble. And basically during that 20-yard scramble in that opening drive for Cincinnati in the second half, there was basically no defenders in the open field to go and tackle him. And someone had to go and race up and tackle him. It was too late. They already got a 20-plus yard scramble for the first down, and even more than that. But Eric Armstead once again got his second sack, and then the 49ers defense held Cincy to a field goal. Okay, it's a touchdown game now. But once you got on offense, now the tables were turned for McCaffrey and Purdy, because that 5-man rush that the Bengals were putting on, kind of like what the Vikings were doing. A 5-man personnel, the pass rush. It neutralized Christian McCaffrey in the running game, and it also started to affect Purdy, because once that 5-man pressure was coming, he had to get rid of that ball quickly, and it started to affect his decision making. So Kyle Shanahan's offense, forced the punt quickly, and you know what? perhaps Kyle Shanahan got a little bit of a call. Maybe got a little bat signal from Tony Romo up in the booth. It said like, "Hey pal, you really have to stop running the ball." Like maybe what I've been saying. Stop running the Christian McCaffrey well so much. Maybe start utilizing something that's called the play action pass. And which is actually what Kyle Shanahan did when the 49ers were up next on offense on the next time they were out there. So when Tony Romo was talking about, oh, you got to start using the play action, literally seconds later, Kyle Shanahan says, okay, we're going to do play action. Tony Romo, man, he literally called it once again. But unfortunately, when the Niners had probably their most success since like that touchdown for Christian McCaffrey I think it was in the first quarter, Purdy unfortunately threw an interception near the goal line. It was like a tip pass interception from Jermaine Pratt to himself. Kind of a bad decision though, because he took a little too long to decide if he wanted to run or pass like near the goal line. He was trying to pass it to Elijah Mitchell, but then he took too long, and Jermaine Pratt was already right in his face, the linebacker, and Jermaine Pratt tipped it to himself in an interception. But then 3 plays later, after Tyler Boyd got a big pass from Joe Burrow to take it midfield, as we head into the fourth quarter, the 49ers thought they got a fumble from Jamar Chase, but nope, they overturned it. The damn officials overturned it. I'm like, okay. No big break for that 49ers defense that's been struggling all game. And then, unfortunately, after a punt, Brock Purdy, man, he threw another interception right away. And this one's completely his fault. I mean, when Brock Purdy plays well, he does. Like, he has those big plays. But damn, like those turnovers, like those 2 interceptions have been pretty killer these last couple of games. Like two bad interceptions in the Vikings game, and then 2 interceptions here. He threw a second interception, this time to Logan Wilson, the linebacker, and he was like looking dead in the right to Logan Wilson. Like, I'm not sure what you were seeing there. So that was a really bad interception, and the Bengals cashed in on it. Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow connected once again to each other, and now all of a sudden it becomes a even bigger hole and potential dagger from there, 24-10. But Purdy at least had a nice responding drive. He threw a lobbing touchdown pass to Christian McCaffrey. Now, once again, it's a 1-score game, 24-17. Got some life back in the crowd. But because your defense has been doing dog dookie water all game, once again, that life was quickly taken away from Levi's again. In that rushing game that has been doing so poor prior to this game, it has been doing great. For Cincinnati, as Joe Burrow, yes, him, and Joe Mixon gashed the defense once again, as Mixon put the capper on this game, 31-17, and the 49ers have lost their third straight game, dropping them to 5-3. And guess who's on top of the NFC West? Well, not us. That is the Seattle Seahawks. So, yeah, poor game for the 49ers. I don't know if I necessarily say all around, but mainly because it's the defense. I mean, Purdy, I'll say this, Brock Purdy, he has basically done all he can. Maybe the pressure, there's a lot of pressure on him to like deliver, but those turnovers have been kind of killer on Purdy, so I can't excuse him from that. But the problem is that his defense has been playing like total ass. And be honest with you, John Lynch seriously has to make some trades. He really needs to make some trades at the trade deadline. He can't be sitting pat, and probably sure he's not, because for the third straight week, our defense has been ass. Like ever since we've got off to this 5-0 start, where the defense has been like beating the down in the pudding out of our opponents. Like it's been nowhere to be seen against the Browns, who made, in turn, the 49ers defense look like the skid marks, and then the Vikings, who got brutalized and burnt like toast, like to Kirk Cousins, and then now to a actual legit quarterback in Joe Burrow. Like, what the hell? Like, you missed you miss your coverage, you miss your receivers. Now you're missing tackles, and now you're missing sacks on easily hits by on like quarterbacks, if that makes any sense. But anyway, you're pretty much missing everything, not just on the secondary now, but even in the pass rush. So everything's missing. You're swinging, but you're missing in the defense. And you can't even stop the simplest shit now. So, like, where's Nick Bosa? And where's Drake? Where's Drake Jackson? Like, why is he in the doghouse now? So, like I said, the only one that came to play in like some sense was Eric Armstead in the interior, because even though he barely has done shit in the interior with like any kind of pressure all season, man, we might be wrong on that, but at least he did kind of something. So all I say is this: John Lynch better be on the phones for the next 48 hours to find some fixes for some people on the defense, mainly on the defensive line. I would focus on the interior and maybe an edge rusher. But the other concern has to be cornerback, because our secondary is mere garbage. Like, I'm sorry, but Diamoje Lenore has been very inconsistent. Isaiah Oliver at the slot corner has been ugh. So we need some help at corner, like really badly. But in all honesty, even with these trades, it's like, will that even be enough to fix the person upstairs with your garbage? What ended up being honestly been a pretty horrible hire in Steve Wilks. So I don't know, man. But either way, this defense needs serious fixing during the bye week. And, at this rate, at the halfway point of the season for San Francisco, you can forget the top seed. You can really forget the top seed, barring some miracle that goes on in the NFC, because you really got to refocus on staying healthy and gain that division back from Seattle. I mean, it's pretty simple. So, since there's no game next week, you don't have to worry about the game in Jacksonville just yet, because, Jacksonville is also going to be on their bye week. So, both teams will be coming in pretty fresh, as the 49ers will travel to Jacksonville in week 10. So, for now, let's take a little bit of an outlook during for the 49ers bye week. So, they're going in 5-3, losing 3 straight after starting out 5-0. But as I said, they have to make some changes on defense. But at the same time, that doesn't excuse what's going on in the offense. They have to get Trent Williams back at left tackle, and Deebo Samuel, who has been out with the hairline fracture. We don't even know if he's going to be ready to go for week 10. Might be out a little bit longer. But yeah, the other concern on the offense is that offensive line. Right guard Spencer Burford has been kind of disappointing. Their right tackle, I mean, he's been all right, but I mean, nothing spectacular. So maybe you go out there, if there's something out there that's worth it, maybe add some depth to the offensive line. I know it's very hard to do so, but get something. I mean, I don't hear a lot of things about Lyle Collins. Is he still a free agent? I don't know. But anyway, this 49ers team, if they really want to try to make a push, if they can, I know they can, but it's just a matter if they want to. They have to make some moves. They have to make some changes, also in-house changes, adjustments, if they want to really make this year their year to finally get that 6th Super Bowl. But we'll see. You'll see coming out of the bye week. So anyway, that's my thoughts on this Week 8 loss to the Cincinnati Bengals. The Niners dropped this one 31-17. And really poor performance from the defense once again. Hopefully they fix that shit up during the bye week, whatever that may be. And yeah, no 49ers football for the next 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. So hopefully it's a little bit of a vacation for you too, especially for your stress levels. Certainly will be for me. Maybe a little less football for me to talk about in the next 2 weeks. But hey, we'll still be here. We'll still be looking at other games around the league. And there's a WWE pay-per-view that weekend. So something to hold me over for at least the next 2 weeks. But anyway, we'll be back to talk Niners football when they take on Jacksonville in 2 weeks. So, yeah, enjoy your little 49ers time off. But anyway, this is DylanLasagna signing out of another 49ers recap for the 2023 season. And as always, keep that lasagna very cold in the fridge with your takes on the world of sports. And until next time, peace out.